time.
Hi, this is Kirsten at Engineering Fitness, and I'm going to be starting to just have some guests over and getting some wisdom and tips. So I have the privilege of my first guest today, and this is Troy Bishop. Thank you so much for coming. And I've had the privilege of watching you from afar, coming in, just doing your own thing, and now I'm just seeing you've been transformed. So if you'd just like to tell us a little bit about yourself, just to get started.
Yeah, well, I used to play a lot of sport when I was younger, but really had absolutely no idea what I was doing training-wise. Played rugby with a terrible coach that just ended up getting me more injured. Ate like a dog, whatever I could eat, and ended up, when I left varsity, just like ballooning in weight, getting really out of shape, and just affecting my mental well-being. I maxed out at 120 kgs. Decided to try and get in shape, and over time kind of some things worked a little bit, some didn't, and then found myself in gym because Taryn, my wife, decided to get us there, and fumbled around for a while, and that's where you first saw me trying to work my way through various Google programs and that sort of stuff.
Sure, and you had some success, and you've now started this blog. What's it, the Fat Ironman? Is that?
Yeah,
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I had lost a lot of weight over time, about 35 kgs, and decided that I wanted a new goal instead of just being a guy losing weight, which is boring eventually, and kind of loses purpose when you've lost the weight. So I signed up for the Ironman 70.3 competition, and then started training for that, and a lot of people were quite inspired by that, and so I decided to just blog my journey, my weight loss experience, and that's where I am. Just kind of, I think, mainly just to try and relate to a lot of people who are probably in the same position as me, where they have no real idea of how to start training or how to lose weight. Maybe they've tried a couple of different diets and stuff which never work, and they're feeling demotivated. I'm 35 years old, and a lot of people will be like, you're kind of heading towards your 40s, and it's once that happens, you're just finished. And I just decided I just don't want to be, I got a little girl, I don't want to be a fat dad who can't pick his kid up and can't like run after her without like coughing up a lung. So that's where I am now.
Wow, it's been amazing to watch. And so how's training helped you physically, emotionally, relationally? How's that dynamic impacted you? Well,
when I was really out of shape, it was not just that I was overweight. I had such bad rugby injuries that just were so compounded by being overweight. If I crouched down, my knee would pop out of joint. I was living on anti-inflammatories, which is terrible for your body as well, your stomach and all that sort of stuff. And so I was just a lot of pain, and I think that just messes with your mind. I also have a really pretty wife, and like to be the guy, the fat guy dragging a beautiful wife around the mall or whatever, always having to keep his shirt on at the beach and that sort of thing. It messes with your confidence. And so being able to train and being able to kind of push yourself and then get to the point where maybe you're not so, aware of your own physical shortcomings, it gives you a lot of confidence. And I've been a teacher, and I've spoken in front of a lot of people and whatever, and I've kind of had to fake that confidence for a long time, but it's nice to be able to stand up in front of people and them not go, shame, did he eat a whole pizza for breakfast or something like that? Yeah. And so that's where I am. And what I'm loving now, more than anything else, is pushing my body and my mind to places I never knew I could go. Doing things that I never thought I could do. I used to maybe be able to run 2.5 Ks, and then I'd be in so much pain I'd have to stop, or I'd have that bleeding back of the throat feeling, where you just think you're going to die. And I'm sure a lot of people, can relate to that. Most people live this busy, fast-paced life, and you think that you can't get back to that maybe when you were a teenager you played a lot of sport or whatever, but you can. You can if you just if you just committed and realize, one of the things I was talking about in my blog a little while ago is just realize the choices that you're making, rather than going, well, I don't want to go to gym because it hurts, realize that actually by not looking after your body, you're choosing to be that person that you're actually embarrassed about.
Yeah.
And that's where I was. I realized that every time I was going to Steers or eating a pizza or pie for breakfast or something stupid like that, I was actually choosing to be that person that I then was embarrassed about. And it's not about being overweight and being happy if you're perfect or anything like that. I'm not perfect or anything, but it's just that realization that you own your own body and you own your own life, and so training has just given me that perspective about that, which I didn't have.
Yeah. Well done. And then if you were to pick any form of exercise, which would your favorite form? Was it the running, the cycling, the gymming? What is your favorite? It's a hard one, I know, but...
I can't say that I love running, but I have kind of got addicted to it because it's just so, nothing pushes your body like running.
Yeah.
And to conquer like a 10 or a 20K, at the end of it when you realize you've burned like 1,500 calories or something in the last 90 minutes, it's a good feeling, and nothing does that like running.
Yeah.
But I love well-structured cross-training, like high interval training. I think that's something I get the biggest kick out of, is see how hard you can push your body for a little bit, let yourself relax, and then go again. And I think it's actually a lot of what you have helped me with. I started trying to fumble around with HIIT training on my own, but I was terrible at it, and I was probably on a course to getting injured before you grabbed me and tried to kind of push me in the right direction. But I love that, just kind of really push your body in a high intensity environment rather than just like endurance.
Yeah.
But the endurance has got a place because it pushes your mind in a different way, and I think I've kind of just I've got addicted to that thrill of getting like past barriers. So I do a lot of endurance, riding and swimming and running because I'm doing the Ironman. But I think once I'm done with that, I'll probably go back to the interval training because it's just the results are just crazy.
Yeah.
A month of interval training, and you get a tone and you get a physical balance more than others. Endurance, you get skinny.
Yeah.
But the interval training, you really do shred.
Yeah. I mean, we did a bit of functional training. Do you prefer that to the more traditional type, or you saw a change in your body?
Yeah, I did all the weights, and I'm sure most people do that. They go and they look for an exercise program, and it says do bench presses, 12 reps, 6 sets, or whatever, and so that's what I used to do, and that's what most people used to do or do, and I got limited results of that. But the combination training that you do, the functional patterns kind of thing where you're using resistance and combining different muscle groups and that sort of stuff, the results, with a month of doing that, it took me to the next level. I had plateaued completely before that. I had done a lot of running, got fit. I had done a lot of exercise, got strong, but my body wasn't balanced, and I wasn't able to just push through to lose that last bit of like fat that was hanging on me, but also to get that definition. And like a month, it transformed my body, probably more than the whole year of training before that. Just in 1 month of that structured, it's almost like a scientific approach that you gave me, rather than just this use a muscle until it's tired kind of thing, but combining muscles in intelligent ways and pushing your body. But it also, what I loved about that training program that you worked with me is I never felt like I was really going to get injured. It was always a natural movement, and I think that if you do that over a prolonged period of time, you're going to build such a healthy body because you don't have that jarring with a lot of a lot of exercise are jarring. Bench press is a danger. You feel like you're going to die at any moment when you're doing a bench press. And when you start pushing, unless you've got like a really good spotter, you just feel like you're going to drop the bar on yourself. And at the end of the day, you're not even achieving as much as we did in that little bit of time. So I really love that. It just feels like a more intelligent way of training in the gym.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you did. You grafted. You pushed me to the next level and thinking things up. Just a last word of inspiration for those who are sitting on the fence of should I actually get going? All these excuses, like you've been an inspiration just with your blog and inspiring people. But just for those who are still trying to do that last little push.
Yeah, I think my main advice to people is choose what you really want. And then make it a priority. If you're happy with status quo, keep doing the same thing. Just don't expect new results. You know, if you're going to keep doing the same thing, expect the same results. But if you really want to change and you really want to move forward and you really want to grow that confidence, it's not unattainable. I was 120 kgs and had all the injury excuses in the book. And you make time for the things that you want. So just realize what it is that you want to achieve and go. It's not quick. There's no quick fix. The diets and that sort of stuff, they don't work because they're quick. And you know, good things they take time and they're worth building. And but even if you're 50, even if you're 60, I went and told my story to my mother, and she's going on 70 now, and she's lost 40 kgs in like 7 months.
That's
just
good.
Because she said, I don't want to be the way I was, and I want to do it in a really healthy, intelligent way, and she's doing it. And it's just such a good example. Like it's easy to find excuses. You know, you're always going to have them there: time, work, kids, whatever. But if you really want it, if you really want to be able to wake up in the morning and climb out of bed without pain, or run on the beach without feeling awkward, it's not something you can't do. It's just something you have to prioritize.
Yeah.
You can't let it be a side project that you're working on. Just like with everything in life, you can't go into work 1 hour a week and expect to keep your job. You can't read one hour every 6 months and expect to finish a book. You've got to put the time in and you get the results out. But I do think that had I known at an earlier stage how to train properly, it would have shortened my time magically. The amount of time I wasted fumbling around doing stuff that was just nonsensical. I'm glad I got where I got eventually, but I probably could have saved months or years if I'd just done it with the right person at the right, right at the beginning, rather than just Googling, because Googling is just a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But just go and find somebody that's got half a brain towards fitness. Just don't think that you can treat yourself. It's like any medical problem. You're going to only get limited success treating yourself. But if you get the right professional plugged in, the results just explode.
Yeah.
So.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Troy.
You're welcome.
And
Thank you.
that was our first guest, Troy Bishop, really inspirational. So follow his blog, and I'm sure it will be in the link. And we'll see you at our next one. Have a great day. This is Kirsten at Engineering Fitness.